I believe that the best content comes from how recently it happened. So to give you context about this specific video is that I just hopped off the call with one of my friends who is crushing it in business, crushing it, absolutely crushing it. And I love him to bits. Great man, living a great life, doing great things and helping other men. The point of our call together was essentially helping him to, prepare his setup, his content setup, studio setup for YouTube videos. I was kind of surprised because I've already helped him previously. I gave him advice on how to do everything. But then I still say, okay, well, I'm always happy to help. No problem. Let's hop on a call. Let's see where it goes. And to give you some context, this guy is crushing it in business, selling 10, 20K masterminds, right? So doing pretty well and runs it all on referrals, like word of mouth. None of that organic content, paid traffic, none of that stuff, like all words of mouth. That shows how good his product is. That shows how good he is helping other men. Yet he could not create a piece of content. And let me explain. So we hop on a call and I'm kind of instantly perplexed. I look at the content or looking at this camera, Zoom setup. I'm like, oh, this is pretty good. Like you could just do a little bit of adjustment and it's going to be well to get you started. And about 30 minutes after our conversation or 30 minutes into our conversation, I kind of realized the one thing I've talked about recently is the optimizers, over-optimizers, and the under-optimizers, right? There's two types of creators. And most of the creators really fall into those two buckets. They don't really fall into the between. Which led me to the question and, asking him like, well, do you struggle with like content ideas? Do you not know what do you want to talk about? And to my surprise, he just pulls out the Notion doc with a bunch of ideas. And I'm looking at him like, so what is the actual problem? I don't understand. And this brings me to the over-optimizers, right? It's the people that are perfectionists, right? They're always trying to make everything perfect. Perfect for who? My question is like, who are you trying to be perfect for? First of all, most people will probably not even gonna watch your stuff, right? If you're starting out, if you don't have much content experience, your first 10, 100 videos are going to suck. So who cares how good it looks? Nobody cares, right? Like I'm making these YouTube videos in the park, plenty of people around me. Don't care, because not many of you are going to watch it. But the video ideas or insights within this video or information, I still will transfer to you. And I think it is valuable for you to understand what I'm talking about, right? And then you have the other people that are under optimizers, right? The people that don't really care, right? They just kind of go out there, they see a stick, right? They see a stick and it's like, oh, content. They post it and nobody watches it and they just don't care, right? Both of these ways, the over-optimizers and under-optimizers, it's unsustainable in the long run. Like you can do it and sustain it for a while. I mean, I've done it for a year before I kind of burned out. I didn't get the business result that I wanted, so it led me to a burnout. And I also didn't enjoy doing it, so it also contributes to the same burnout. It's unsustainable. However, people in the middle, and this might be helpful if you're struggling with creation, content creation specifically. People in the middle, I don't have a name for them, right? But let's call them high status creators. These creators, they don't follow the rules. It's kind of very vague and abstract. Let me explain. These people, I have a cute dog in front of me. They don't follow frameworks because frameworks most of the time, they work against you, right? So if you want to create content and you follow all these frameworks, you use ChatGPT to script your stuff, it only works against you in the long run. Because it's not really authentic to you. You don't really know how to package that stuff that AI gives you in a way or the framework gives you in a way that works for you, right? And that's why in the long run, it's kind of becomes a huge mess where you just don't feel like doing anymore. You don't feel authentic and you don't feel like you're building something that you enjoy versus enjoying doing the thing, right? Like I'm enjoying making these videos because I kind of understand this fact. And to be fair, this morning I woke up and it was a beautiful day. It still is a beautiful day. But I wanted to film a video in the park, the usual, right? But it was cold. So I went outside and I was like, I'm not going to film a video today. Then later on, I jumped on a call with my friend. First of all, he inspires me, right? I listened to him speak and I'm like, damn, I want to be more like this guy. And the phrase that he said was like, you're most of the time you're just bullshitting yourself. And I was like, I'm going to go film a video about this. Film about creators procrastinating just because they're bullshitting themselves over these little things. I tend to avoid working with beginners because these are the problems that they have, but it's surprising enough for me to witness really successful people, right? People that are doing really well have the same problem, which kind of, opens my mind a little bit. I'm like, maybe I should talk more about this, right? How you should stop bullshitting yourself and actually just press record and go talk about the things. You don't need to be scripted, like have 30 videos scripted, right? You just need to follow a simple structure, right? What is the lesson that you learned? Just talk about the lesson that you learned today. The lesson that I learned today is that successful people also have problems, right? The beginner level problems. So long story short, you don't need a fancy setup, right? You don't need 5 different studio setups. You don't need a fancy camera gear. You don't need 10 million scripts ready. You don't need to follow scripts, right? The only thing that you need is an insight that you can share with people and a medium to share it. Right? You can do it on your phone. My recommendation is that you have a good camera quality or good camera for quality, video quality, good audio, right? You have an editor. You don't really need an editor, right? If you're just creating content that's insightful and helpful, people are going to watch it anyway. There's videos that went viral just because they're interesting. The goal shouldn't be go viral in the first place. The goal is to just share what you've learned and transfer that knowledge to other people. That's the main goal, because you want to leave the world a better place. So my recommendation is that you simply have a good quality setup, right? Portable, even better, right? You don't need to have fancy cameras. You don't need to have all these fancy gadgets, right? You just need an idea that you can share with people and put it out there and do it consistently. The point is to do it consistently. If you do it for a week or 2, you're going to get forgotten anyway, right? You're not going to have enough leverage to build that trust, to build that know, like, and trust factor with your audience, with the people that buy your ideas. And here's a quick hack for you. When you're creating short form content, you don't tell people to do everything all at once, right? You don't tell people that here's the mechanism, here's the insight, here's the how to do it. Like, too many people try to cram all of the stuff into one. Social media is used for selling ideas, right? Because most people are not aware of the problem or this opportunity that they have. And you can share the idea with them, explaining why they're in pain, like what's the actual problem. Once you explain that to them, then you make them aware of the problem, right? And then they're unaware of the solution. So the next step is only making them aware of the solution, right? And once they're aware of the solution, then they might want a full transformation where your service comes in, or where your coaching comes in, where your consulting comes in. And you don't do all of that in one video. Funny how this video turned out, but long story short, just press record, put it out there. I don't recommend following different frameworks. The easiest framework to follow is to just have a good hook, right? Good hook, something that creates curiosity, creates interest, captures attention, because that's the main thing. Like, attention is key. Like, if you can't capture attention, nobody's going to know about the other stuff that you have. So you can have a good hook, then lead with an insight, right? Deliver an insight of some sort where people will go like, oh, I never thought about it this way. This is interesting. I never knew that this was a problem, right? I never knew that there was a solution to this, so on and so forth. From there on, you just drive them somewhere off platform where you can have a conversation, or you have a conversation right on the platform, and then you sell them the big thing. It's as simple as that. So if you currently run a business that does not create content, this is the easiest way to start. And here's another thing. Because his product is so good, back to my friend, his product is so good, he's helped a lot of people. He literally has thousands of insights that he can share. Like, he can probably create content for 3 years straight and he'll still have content left over. I gotta call it out. Like, it's a lot of bullshit. That's the entire, I don't know why I'm not great. It's because you're trying to make it perfect for who? Just create content for your clients and people will appreciate it. And when I'm saying create content for your clients, remind your clients what do they need to be reminded of? All right, long story short, if you want my help to build your audience and monetize it more effectively, you can find a link down below to my Instagram. Just send me a DM, or you can consume my lead magnet where I can educate you on how I solve this problem. And I'll see you in the next one.